Okay, what is happening, everybody? I'm a little late to the party on this one, I know, but it's been a couple days now, and two right after the other. Kind of sucks, man. Kind of sucks. Gonna try and keep my composure here, but I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do it. We'll start with Terry Funk. Uh, Terry Funk is, if you want to put down like my 10 favorite wrestlers ever, Terry Funk is in that top 10. Probably like the 5 or 8 spot if I'm just going right off the dome right now. Uh, so it's funny. The year I was born was the first time that Terry Funk retired from wrestling, and it's pretty funny that I feel like he kind of started the whole trend of let's retire, like of retirement in wrestling being like just some time off because that's what it became. And good for him, good for anyone else who can do that. But I just find that pretty comical. And now it's created like an effect where like Edge just said he had his last match. It's no, he didn't have his last match. He's gonna keep performing until he doesn't want to do it anymore, and then he'll just go away quietly. Uh, Funk didn't know how to do that. Terry didn't know how to do that, and I think that's for the betterment of the entire industry because I it's really difficult for me to say that anyone has contributed more to the industry as a whole, like under the radar, as Terry Funk. I mean, this man lived to make sure, or he lived for the younger guys, and I watched him here and there when I was a kid, but when I got into ECW as a adolescent in the mid '90s, I specifically remember him putting guys over, but making everyone look good. So not like the jobber type, because he would get whatever he needed to get in, but he would also do the job in the end. And think we need to think we need to definitely admire that as we remember him. Um, I'll never forget watching watching ECW Barely Legal in 1997. I watched it with an illegal cable box because one of my dad's buddies got us one of those because my dad was feeling really down in the dumps after his divorce, and his buddy's like, "Hey, I'll give you a illegal cable box. Maybe they'll cheer you up a little bit, be able to watch some free pay per view, watch some free, you know, P-Ron, watch some free other stuff. It was cool. I was able to watch ECW pay per views on that. I was also able to catch some WWE and WCW ones, but it was really ECW back in the day. And I witnessed a 53-year-old guy do a moonsault in in a match against my single favorite wrestler ever, Raven. And I mean, thinking of this just like makes you think, okay, what's gonna happen after Raven? Like, I'm just like biding the time now. It's like, okay, like Raven's gonna be here. Gonna be talking about Raven. I I hope that's I hope that's later more than sooner. But I don't know. Funk talked about in the Forever Hardcore documentary, which I still own and I still watch. And he used to enjoy putting younger guys over when Other guys his age wouldn't do that. And I think anyone who is now wrestling in performing in the industry in their 50s or late 40s or whatever, I think they should watch watch stuff back, watch his shoot interviews back, and be like, okay, if I'm gonna be able to, if I want to work, then I better be able to put over younger dudes and make myself look good, because that is exactly what Terry Funk became known for. Going into the 90s, and even at, crazy enough, into the 2000s. Now, so that's pretty much all I gotta say about Terry Funk. I'm making this real short because I can't go on. I'll lose my mind. I'll lose my mind here, and I'll start breaking down, and I'm not doing that on a YouTube video. I'm sorry, everybody. I'll do that when the cameras are off. So Terry Funk, one of the best performers ever, one of the nicest individuals in the industry. We'll miss you. I'll miss you. And now, this next one hurts even more. Windam Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, whatever you want to call him, Husky Harris. Pretty sure he would not want to be recognized as that, but Windam Rotunda. It's sad that I'm seeing comments and stuff like that on everyone else who's commented on his death, saying, "Oh, where did he die from?" And they just talk about C-19 and the vaccine. It's like, can you not talk about that for once? Can you talk about what kind of individual this man has and the family he left behind? And stuff like that. And the fact that he was only 36 freaking years old. So, it's funny, right now I'm working on a presentation where it's very similar to Analyzing Evil from the Vile Eye, and I'm calling it Understanding Evil. And the subject of the very first episode is pretty much someone who becomes a cult leader. And about a decade ago, Windam was kind of struggling in WWE, got sent back to NXT after appearing in WWE on their main shows as Husky Harris. And he said, okay, I need to create a new character, and he did, and that was Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt was pretty much a combination of Waylon Mercy from mid-90s WWE, who was kind of a cult leader-ish kind of deal. Very similar to Bodie from Point Break. And Raven, pretty much, in that he had a little crew that he was able to manipulate and boss around and stuff like that. And he was talking about how he was just like Raven did. He was talking about how he was a martyr for modern sins, which I think is just awesome. And I mean, it wouldn't put it past Raven to be very, very flattered by the way that Bray Wyatt first was performing as that cult leader gimmick. And despite a good amount of stuff that he did falling flat, The Fiend, even his return last year, it was a flash in the pan, in my opinion. But that's nothing against Windam Rotunda at all. That's nothing against him. That's just how it shook out. We haven't seen anyone this creative in my opinion, we haven't seen anyone this creative since Raven. Okay? Because going back to ECW, a good majority of the stuff you saw in ECW in the mid-90s, from 95 to 97, the majority of that was booked by Raven. So, and I think Rotunda, he wanted to kind of combine what Raven was doing in the mid-90s ECW and combine that with stuff that like with mystic stuff. That's why I had his little. That's why I had his fiend character, which was, all things considered, was a really good effort. But boy, was it over the top. But I did enjoy the duality between the Firefly Funhouse stuff and the Fiend, and I think that could have had a chance. It could have been able to marinate a little bit and come into something good. But then there was a whole bunch of ridiculous involved. I'll never forget, about 4 years ago, one of the worst matches ever, Hell in the Cell 19. That was god awful, and I think it was no one's really. It wasn't anyone's fault. It was just how. Again, it's just how it shook out. But either way, when I hear about anybody dying younger than me, I get scared. Okay. I've had two of my buddies who are about a couple of years younger than me die, but both of those were self-inflicted. Okay. Apparently, the cause of Rotunda's death was a heart attack. He had heart issues, which, I mean, if you're performing as a wrestler, you're doing those kind of matches. It's wear and tear on anybody's body, no matter what, no matter who you are. And I mean, some are able to, push through and power through it, and are able to manage the way they are in a way that allows them to keep performing for years to come. I mean, that's exactly what it was with Terry Funk, right? I mean, Terry Funk is 79 years old. It's pretty average for life expectancy, all right. But for Rotunda to be half that age and to pass, that's incredibly unfortunate, and that's incredibly scary. I mean, if you have those kind of issues, and you know you have those kind of issues, and you're not seeking treatment, you're not seeking proper help, but also not giving in to what a lot of doctors like to do. A lot of doctors like to scare people into taking drugs, and all of a sudden they practically murder their patients. That's just my opinion. I'm not going to go into that, not on this channel, not anywhere on a YouTube screen at all. That's something I'd rather keep in private, behind the camera, or when the cameras are off, when the microphone's off. But I mean, for anyone out there who is, in my opinion, once you hit 35, that's when things start really breaking down, no matter who you are. And it just sucks that Rotunda either, I don't know if he was aware of that. I don't know. Maybe he said, oh, this is nothing, and was buying that lie for however long he did, and all of a sudden, he was at death's door. We don't know, and we shouldn't be speculating on that. All I could say is that if you have those kind of issues, same kind of issues that Rotunda had, and you have stuff to live for. Everyone has everything. Everybody has something to live for, right? So if you have those kind of health issues, you need to take care of those. Okay? I'm very fortunate and blessed to not have those kind of issues at all at 41 years old. But, the second I notice something out of the ordinary, I'm getting it checked out and then taking the proper procedure. And it's just hurts. Hurts to see all this. Really does. That's all I gotta say. Would have been cool to see Windam Rotunda make another return. Looked like he was setting up for something. Now I'll never know. And that's what hurts the most, is seeing 1987 to 2023. Someone 5 years younger than me passing away. I mean, I'd say that's more shocking than anything else. I mean, you don't want to hear it from anyone at any age, but if it was like 1957, okay, all right, well now he's getting up there, that kind of stuff. I know that, you know what I mean. That's just, I don't know. Starting to ramble now, and I shouldn't do that. Not an easy week to be a wrestling fan. I'll say it straight up. And we got All In hype. That's kind of cool. That's still going to be an awesome show, and I hope they pay tribute to both of these guys. I hope other WWE shows or other shows and other organizations both pay a large tribute to both of these guys, because we lost two really wonderful performers and wonderful minds this week in Terry Funk and Windam Rotunda. So, rest in power to both. Rest in paradise to both. You two will be missed. You two will be missed.